Hello YouTube. I thought I'd try to knock out a quick video. I got tagged actually by two people, Udo and Trader Joe both, and with the help of my assistant Tank here, we'll see if we can come up with what 3 knives I would take for military or combat purposes. And I guess like anything, I'd approach that problem by thinking, well, what exactly would I use it for? And at my age, you know, I'm not going to be donning fatigues and jumping hills or doing anything, so I guess mine would be more of a last ditch urban scenario, something like that. So with that as our criteria, I think we'll try to knock these out, and that's probably the first step that anybody has to look at if you're going to pick something like this. I think you need to start off by figuring out exactly what you're going to be doing with them and why you have them. So let's take a look. I've got a bunch out here, and we'll shift off my helper here. And I decided, I don't know, I may have to make it 4 knives. It's going to be hard for me to make it 3. But first off, in the large category, if I was going to think that I'd be in a situation where I'd need something like a machete, I'm probably not going to carry a machete around. It's a superb tool, but I think from my standpoint it's just a little bit too big, and I think that I can get extra utility out of some other choices. And for a big blade, I think that this, which is my Forester B, is maybe just a little bit too long, or excuse me, just a little bit too short to fill that role. It could, and I could certainly lash it to a pole and use it. Tank, that's probably not real smart. You may regret that, but I think that would probably be a little small for that. That would be it's big for a combat knife, but a little bit small for an urban setting or even a wood setting. I think that I would probably go with this, and this is the Forester XXXL, and it's not so big that I couldn't strap it to the side of my pack. Not only would this be an extremely good knife for getting through woods in a hurry, I haven't found much this won't cut, period. I know it's rugged. Kylie has tested it. I've tested it. It's been tested by several people. It's going to work, and it's you know, as a defensive tool, I don't think there's any question about how well that would be. Not much human or animal that you wouldn't at least have some sort of chance against. So we'll just pretty much take that as the big knife. A lot of times that may be left in a vehicle, in camp. So then what we put on the belt or the pack when we're going out on a daily basis. Thought of several here. Again, the Forester B, probably an excellent choice for this. Rugged, that slight drop point, extremely strong. I know from past experience this is also a good chopper. A lot of grip options. Could do a lot of camp chores also, so that would be a good one. This is the friction forged diamond blade, and the only problem with carrying this one, and I'm going to try my best to let this thing focus, is you can see that's this was the experimental model number 1, serial number 13. I really, if there's any chance that things are ever going to straighten out and things may go back to normal, I don't really want to carry this, because I think that you know, I don't want to tear up my collection knives if there's a chance that things will come back. If things aren't going to come back to normal, this would be high on my list. I've seen the tests that these have been put through, and have other diamond blade knives, some of which have been sent to Japan, New Zealand, you know, all over the place, and been tested, and they just work. There's just no question. This is, friction forging is the real deal. I'll just say that and leave it at that. So that would be an option. Another one might be a nice Bowie style like this, which is from my buddy Tim, Sugar Creek Forge. I think there's a couple problems with this knife, or combat knife, and I'll tell you what. Would it work? Of course it would. The people that settle the West used butcher knives, basically. This is much stouter than that, much stronger, but again, to me it's a collector piece, has special meaning, and I'd really rather have a synthetic handle on a combat style knife, or at least a full tang. I don't think you'd ever break this. I've seen this tang, I've had it out, and the chances of breaking that are almost nil. So that would work, and I might carry it. This would be a great choice for a belt knife. This is a 5-inch Thrive, synthetic handles, screwed on. Those handles aren't going anywhere. Again, that same design, nice thickness, but not too thick. It would carve, it would do a lot. A little bit on the small side for your primary big belt knife, I think, in that kind of scenario, but really close. This one is also by Kylie, but this is a dedicated fighting knife. I would want something a little more utilitarian. This was designed with SEAL Special Forces, you know, regular infantrymen, things like that. And while it would work, while it would certainly do that, it's very sharp, and would do regular chores. I think that this is just more of a very specialized tool. One that I would give pretty good consideration to, again, the only problem I have with this one is it might be just a hair small, and that is the Murray Carter White Crane. Boy, it just fits my hand like it was made for it. Laminated, super blue steel, nice, decently thick edge for Murray, which means it's still thin, but it's thick enough to be strong, and I think that would probably be my choice, either that or the Forester B. This one, which is bigger, even stronger, but whichever one of those, if I could carry the Forester B every day, because if you don't have a knife with you, you can forget it. But I think I would narrow it down to those two. If I could carry it, it would be the Forester B. If not, I'd take the Murray Carter. Another choice, which I just saw over here and I kind of left out, is this one. And, you know, just hell for stout. This is a Havelis Bush tool. Um, not much it won't do. Pretty good size. The sheath, though very complete with a lot of other stuff with it, might be just a little bit bulky, and I might go ahead and actually just make a Kydex sheath and carry that by itself. But certainly that would be in there. For a pocket folder, I have several really nice ones to pick from. The three I narrowed it down to would be the Kylie Harris CKC folder, titanium scales, N690 blade, really holds a good edge, nice and stout, convex ground, titanium lockup. This lock will not come loose. It's engineered to make itself tighter as you use it, but not bind. And he's shown that on many of his videos. I really like this guy right here, and we're going to do a video on it at some time in the near future. This would be pretty good size, and there's a lot of neat things going on this, and I'll devote a video totally to this one at a later date. The Para 2 in S30V, not much I need to say about that. Anybody that knows anything about knives knows that the lockup on this is superbly stout. It's easy to use. It's pretty much ambidextrous. Good edge holding, good cutting ability, good everything, and it's a readily available piece, so that if it's stolen or damaged or whatever, I could replace it, or at least even if I couldn't replace it, I wouldn't feel like I'd lost the world if I lost it. I think though in the end I'm going to say this one, just because of the situation we're picking it for. It is stout. I've tested it for a good long time now, and I have complete faith in it. So I think for our folder, we'll put that up here with our big knife. And I need a longer table or something. Let me turn this down just a hair for you guys. And so we'll have those two. And I think for the belt knife, I think I'm going to go with the Forester B, simply because there's just not enough difference between what I can do with this folder and the Murray Carter. That gives me much more capability. One knife that you won't see me pick, but has incredible meaning to me. This was my father's, and he carried this in World War II. It was, I've got there was screws in here, and I've got these out. That's why you see no rivets in those holes. I'm doing some restoration work to it right now. But this was made for him by an Italian prisoner of war. It's a French file. And let's see if we can get that to pull in. And this clear stuff here is plexiglass from a B-17 canopy that was removed from one of the damaged planes. And it's really interesting to me to look at this tang, if you can see how delicate that is. But not only did my father carry this for the entire time once it was made for him that he was over there, but he also used it for many, many seasons after that for deer hunting, which really amazes me. it's not what you'd think of as a deer knife, but he just trusted this thing, and that's what he carried. And I guess if you go through war with something, and he was a Bronze Star winner, by the way, I don't think that anybody's going to dispute with you too bad. Finally, I have to have a neck knife. Sorry, that's just the way it is. So that's where my fourth knife is going to come in. And I've got a ton of neck knives to choose from. They're my favorite thing. This would be a good one. Green Jade G10. Nice point, nice Wharncliffe. Good size. I don't want a neck knife that's too big. This Dozier in CTS XHP. Outstanding, you know, orange G10. Be really hard to beat that knife. And I don't want to give him a big head, but I would also certainly consider this one by Mike Gavick. It's again the synthetic handles and AEBL blade, because this is a utility knife that I would carry, even probably more than my folder. It's always so easy to get to. This is a knife, whichever one that I took, that I would carry. I think because the blade steel is so superior, at least in testing so far, and the little finger bumps and just several reasons, the Wharncliffe, I think we'll go with the Bob Dozier. So that's my 4, and I think I'd be well served with those. And I'd like to tag Gavco, and I would like to tag Jeremy McCullen, and I'd like to see, I'm interested to see what those guys would pick. But there's mine, my choice for my combat knives, if you will. I don't know how much combat you're going to see out of a 60-something-year-old man, but anyway, if it had to happen, that's what I'd take, and I think I'd be well served with them. So take it easy, YouTube, and we'll talk to you later.